Let us solve a question that was asked in Indian Economics Service paper of 2021 probably. The question is like this. Let market demand faced by duopolists be P is equal to 100 minus 0.5 Q, where Q is equal to Q1 plus Q2, because if we have duopolist, that means we have two firms in the industry, okay, and their respective cost functions be C1 is equal to 5 Q1, this is the cost function of first firm, and C2 is equal to 5 Q2, cost function of firm second. Find out Nash equilibrium. We need to find out the Nash equilibrium. To find out the Nash equilibrium, what we do here, first we need to find out the reaction function for firm 1, okay. So reaction function for firm 1, okay. How can we find a reaction function? To know what is meant by reaction function or Nash equilibrium, I have made a video on that. You can check on the game theory part of this channel, where you will find out the more uh, explanation regarding this reaction function or cornout Nash equilibrium, okay. So I will not go into the detail, and I will just derive the reaction function for firm first is being found by, first we need to find out the total revenue for firm 1. So total revenue is simply price into quantity produced by firm 1, okay. So what is price? Price function is being given as here, that is 100 minus 0.5. In place of q we have q1 plus q2, so I can write here q1 plus q2, okay. To this we multiply q1. Simply price into quantity gives us total revenue. So if we solve this, this is 100 minus 0.5 q1 square. If I multiply here, minus 0.5 q1 q2 square, okay. Sorry, q2. I've just multiplied this q1 to each of these terms. This is our total revenue. And marginal revenue for firm 1 is simply the partial derivative of total revenue function of firm 1 with respect to q1. So partially differentiating this function with respect to q1 gives us the, obviously here is 0, sorry, q, derivative of q is 1, so we are left with 100 minus, since partially we are differentiating q1, so q1 square, this 2 becomes coefficient, 2 into 0.5 comes out to be 1, so we are left with q1 minus derivative of q1 is here 1, so we are left with minus 0.5 q2. This is our marginal revenue for firm 1. Similarly, marginal cost for firm 1 is simply the derivative of cost function of firm 1 with respect to q1, okay. So cost function is being given us, taking derivative of this cost function with respect to q1, the derivative of q1 is 1, so we are left with 5, okay. Profit maximization requires our marginal revenue 1 should be equal to marginal cost 2, okay. So what is marginal revenue? Marginal revenue is being given us as, so let's write it here, or rather let's write it here. So we have just equating, so let me write here, profit maximization requires marginal revenue of firm 1 should be equal to marginal cost of firm 1. So this is our marginal revenue, that is 100 minus q1 minus 0.5 q2, and we equated with the marginal cost, okay. So solving again, this comes 95 minus q1 minus 0.5 q2 is equal to 0. Simply I have transposed this 5 to LHS, it became negative here, and it was subtracted um, from 100 here, okay. So this is the reaction function for firm 1. Similarly, reaction function for firm 2 will be, so reaction function for firm 2 can be derived using and this very logic which we used here. So for that, first we need to find out the total revenue for firm 2, that is price into quantity produced by firm 2, so q2. So p is, we have calculated p is 100 minus 0.5 q1 minus q 0.5 is again here. So let's cut it short here. So which implies our p is this very step again, we have 100 minus 0.5 q1 minus 0.5 q2 to this we multiply q2. Okay, so this comes out to be 100 q2 minus 0.5 q1 q2 minus 0.5 q2 square. Okay, this is our total revenue for firm 2. Okay, now we need to find out the marginal revenue for firm 2. Simply the partial derivative of total revenue function of firm 2 with respect to q2. So taking partial derivative with respect to q2, derivative of q2 is 1, so we are left with 100 minus derivative of q2 is here 1, we are left with 0.5. q1 minus derivative of q2 square will be 2q2, so 2 into 0.5 comes out to be 1, so we are left with q2 only. Okay, similarly marginal cost for firm 2 is simply the derivative of cost function for firm 2 with respect to q2. Okay, this is our cost function taking derivative with respect to q2, derivative of q2 is 1, so we are left with 5. Okay, so here also profit maximization will require marginal revenue for firm second should be equal to marginal cost of firm second. Okay, this means this is our marginal revenue. So we have 100 minus 0.5 q1 minus q2 is equal to 5, or 95 minus 0.5 q1 minus q2 is equal to what we call it is equal to 0 here. Okay, now we have two equations. Okay, this is the reaction function for firm 2. Let us solve these two reaction functions for q1 and q2. Okay, so let us say this is equation, let me write it here again. Okay, so we have 95 minus q1, I am just writing this here again, 0.5 q2 is equal to 0. That means we need to solve these two equations. How can we solve? There are number of methods. One method is to make the coefficient of either q1 or q2 same in both equations. Okay, how can we make the coefficient of q1 same here? If I multiply this equation both sides by 2, okay, so 2 into 0.5 will become 1, so the coefficients will become here same. So I will rewrite this equation again. So this becomes 2 5s are 10, 2 9s are 18th again 19, minus 2 into 0.5 comes out to be q1 only. Okay, so we have 2 q2 is equal to 0. I have multiplied this equation both sides by 2 and I have rewritten it here. Okay, now we have same coefficients here, so let us subtract here. So this will become minus, this is plus, this is plus again. Okay, so we have these two equations. I have subtracted equation let's write 1 2 here. I have subtracted equation 2 from equation 1, so 95 minus 190 comes out to be 95, but minus here, so this will get cancelled. Minus q1 plus q1 gets cancelled, so minus 0.5 q2 plus 2 q2, it comes out to be plus 1.5 q2 is equal to 0, or 1.5 q2 is equal to, transposing it becomes positive, which gives us q2 is equal to 95 upon 1.5, which comes out to be 63.33. So q2 will be equilibrium value of q2 will be 63.33. Now to get the value of q1, just plug this value again in this equation to get the value of q1, and it will be same 63.33 because we have same cost functions. Okay, so let's try to solve this also here. So let us put it here. Okay, in this equation to get the value of q2 you can put it here. So we have 95 minus value of Q1 is 63.33. Transposing this, it will become 0.5 Q2. Now if we subtract this stuff here, so we will get something 31.66, okay, is equal to 0.5 Q2, or Q2 is equal to 31.66 upon 0.5, 0.5, which also comes out to be 63.33, because we have same cost conditions. Output produced by each firm in this cornout duopoly model will be same. So our Nash equilibrium will be Q1 is equal to 63.33, and Q2 is also equal to 63.33. okay, I hope I make myself clear in this video. Thank you.